Hi everyone, good evening. I am so excited to present you Tracy. This is Tracy, my friend,
Thank you. Hi.
who helps people with cancer. She has gone through cancer herself and did a lot of research. And now she has a business which helps people. So I would like just to say how I met Tracy. She lives in Northampton in England, near my house, and we met a few times for access bars, and we met in the garden, hanging out. It was really lovely. I am so grateful that I met you.
Thank you.
And so, would you tell us something about you, your story? Where do you want to start?
Well, there's quite a lot to tell. I'll try and keep it short. I don't want to bore people to death, but let me tell you a little bit about what happened. Um, I was a serial entrepreneur, and I've had 3 or 4 of my own companies, right? And so I think, as you know, Juditha, I've been one of these people who sets up my own company and I build them up and then I would sell them and then I'd move on. So I'm very experienced at sort of setting up businesses and doing all of that. And I had a life where I was literally juggling everything. Single parent of 2 girls, running businesses, juggling everything around, just doing everything. And I think, and without being sexist, there is a thing that a lot of us women do is we just think we're super women. You know, we have to wear all the hats. We've got to do everything really, really well. We put ourselves under enormous pressure, you know, to be perfect at everything and compare ourselves with everybody else in the world. And we have to be great at everything. And quite often it can have a detrimental effect deeply within ourselves because we just don't stop. And I didn't stop to ever really ask myself, you know, whether this was right for me, all these things I was doing. And really, I was probably pretty exhausted for most of it, pretty exhausted. But what happened also during that time is I went through a couple of very traumatic experiences. And they both came at once. I'm not going to go into that now because it's a whole story in itself, but it very much affected my children. And I also went through a very difficult divorce through the process as well. And what that did is it had a long-term emotional effect on me. And it took a number of years for me to really get over that. So I carried on like we do, covering it all over, trying to be the superwoman. And actually, behind the scenes and below the surface, I genuinely was exhausted and stressed. And it went on and on and on. And I kind of started to ignore signals. I was getting headaches. I was very tired. And even though I was physically fit, doing lots of exercise and sport, things were happening. And I was just ignoring it. I was just sort of passing it off and kept going. Until one day, I found a lump and I was told, I went into the hospital to be told I had stage 3 breast cancer. And that's quite a shock. And when you're the only parent who's present in your children's life, and I was in Thailand at the time, I was a program director for a very large wellness organization. I've been into wellness and well-being for a long, long time. And if you'd have asked anyone in the world, any of my friends, and any of my family, who is the least likely person to get something like cancer or chronic disease, they would have said T. Everyone calls me T. Because I was so super fit and so active and so positive. But I was ignoring the signs and I was trying to be superwoman at everything, trying to do all of it. And the emotional stuff was feeding, I believe, dropping my cells. And you know this, and I know this, that what we tell ourselves and what we say to ourselves every day has a massive effect on our physiological body, right? It has a massive effect on us. And so when you're diagnosed with something like stage 3 breast cancer and you've got 2 children and you're on your own in a foreign country, it's pretty scary. I had 1 chemo in Bangkok, cost me £20,000 for 1 chemo. So thank you, wonderful NHS service here. Don't anybody criticise it because the NHS in England is unreal compared to what goes on in the world, right? And I've had 1 week to fly back and do a whole international move with a cat, a dog, my children, get back, ready to start the next chemo. So I had 6 chemos. I had really long hair, but I made a decision, and I had a turning point when I came back to the UK. I made a decision. I said to myself, I know what has caused this. I have brought this into my body. I said that to myself. That might seem a bit hard, but I said to myself, I have created this illness and this imbalance in my body, and I can uncreate it. I can uncreate this imbalance. And I am going to do everything I need to do to take and reverse this situation back and learn from this experience. So I studied everything. I looked at people who had cured themselves of terminal cancer. I looked at scientific papers. I studied nutritional journals. I qualified as a nutritionist. I took everything I knew and I studied all the alternative things that are going on in the world, as well as doing all of the tried and tested medical things that are going on. So I did chemo. I did all of those things. But I remember going in to see my oncologist in England, and he said to me, you will have a chemo, and very strong chemo because it's stage 3. I had a tumor the size of my fist under my arm and visible tumors all along my collarbone here. So it was quite scary. Yeah? And he said, in between these, you're going to have chemos and they're going to completely floor you. And I said, I am going to book a trip in April to go to Thailand with my family. And he said, well, you can't do that because you may miss some of your chemos if your bloods are not good, or if you're too tired, or you're too sick, or you don't react well. And I said, look, I make a vow to you now, doctor, you do your medical protocol and I will follow my own protocol alongside it. And I am going to focus 150% on my health, on my immune system, on my mental state, on working with my mind and my body to realign myself back to a healthy position. So I literally did everything. I did all sorts of things, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But I had the chemo. I actually, before I started the chemo, I took the clippers and I shaved my hair off completely because I wanted, yeah. And it was, you know, in one way it was very scary, but in another way it was actually really liberating, just to take everything away, right? And just be there. And it was psychologically for me to say, I'm going to stay one step ahead of this whole imbalance, you know, this illness. I had the 6 chemos. I did go to Thailand. Exactly. I didn't miss one. I was super healthy. My bloods were absolutely spot on all the way through. And when I went in to have the pathology report from the oncologist, my doctor said to me, and the surgeon were there, and they pointed a finger at me and they said, we're going to give you the results. And he said to me, you've either got a guardian angel or you're meant to be on this earth. We have never seen anyone go from stage 3 breast cancer to not a trace in less than 5 months. He said, I don't know what you've been doing. I cannot even recognize it clinically, obviously, because we see things differently. He said, but you must write about it. It is incredible. Absolutely incredible. Thank you, Martin. So I then decided, you know, I then had to go on and do more radiation, and I had lots of other sort of chemo things just sort of mopping up, but literally I had not a trace in 5 months. So that's my story. So that's the introduction really to where we are today.
Yes. If anyone has questions, type them in the chat. We can show them up. We can ask them. What are you going to tell us next?
Well, what I decided to do was I couldn't keep this thing secret. You know, it would have been wrong for me, and I needed to, you know, get it out there. So I literally filmed 12 modules. I've sent you the link actually for people to see, but I filmed 12 specific modules all the way along of all the protocols that I looked at. And alongside that is downloadable material like some of the supplements, the Chinese herbs, some of the alternative therapies. But what I want to tell people is this, right? And I'm on a mission. I'm passionate about well-being. I mean, I'm a qualified health and nutritionist, and I'm now a qualified corporate mental health facilitator. I've been in the wellness business for a long time. But what I want to tell people is this, look, in the UK and in America at the moment, 1 in 2 people are diagnosed with cancer. 1 in 2. Right? That's right across the board. That's men and women, prostrate, you know, breast cancer, all sorts of different types of cancer. But that's 1 in 2. Now, that's quite shocking. So what we're saying here is that if you take a room of people, half of those people in that room at some point in their life are going to get cancer. Now, it used to be about 6 years ago. In fact, it used to be 1 in 4. Before that, it was 1 in 6. Then it was 1 in 8. Now it's 1 in 2. Half the people. So that means now, are we going to wait until everyone in the world gets cancer before we start to take this seriously? So Tanya, you've put, so how long ago was it? It was literally, I was diagnosed in 2019 and I was diagnosed in 2018 and I got the all clear in May 2019, literally within 5 months. So I went from stage 3 to not a trace in 5 months, because I followed these very, very strict protocols. And as I said, I studied people who literally cured themselves of terminal cancer, who'd been told they had 3 months to live and they're still alive 10 years later. I go to the gym every day. I'm fit and healthy. I feel great. It's not a miracle because I created it. I created it in my body, and therefore I uncreated it. I looked at the reason how and the reason why I brought it into my body. And I just want to share 3 key fundamental things that I would love people to start bringing into their lives right now to actually give themselves a 40% better chance, at least, by adopting these principles right now. And as I said, I did this thing called Kicking Cancer. So it is available out there for people to have a look at. So if you know anyone who's got cancer or is going through it, so I had a diagnosis 2 years ago. My body did not want to have anything the doctor suggested. Tanya, that's interesting, isn't it? Your body didn't want to have anything the doctor suggested. Well, your body tells you. Your body will tell you exactly what you need if we slow down and listen, and if we trust a little bit more. Now, I'm not one of these people who says that you should go out into the forest and just live on, various herbs and grasses and not do any medical treatment. But on the other hand, I also don't think you should hand yourself over to the medical profession and do nothing else in between. What I'm saying is that we need to take the best of both worlds. We need to take the best of the medical profession and all the tried and tested things that they're doing. And then we need to take all of the incredible things that are going on in the world to boost our immune system. Thank you, Judith, for putting up there. Boost our immune system and focus on our health and well-being, right? Why, people? Please do not wait to be told you have a chronic disease. I think it's 1 in 4 now, are being diagnosed with diabetes. And 1 in 2 with cancer, and other chronic diseases are escalating and escalating. And then what do? We hand ourselves over to the pharmaceutical business, and then we take this drug, and then we have to take another drug to counteract the effects of this drug, and on it goes, right? So there are things that you can start doing right now to help yourself. That's what I want to say to people. So the Kicking Cancer is not just for people who have been diagnosed with cancer or people who know, someone who has. Obviously, it's got a fantastic, benefit for those people. But what I'm saying to people also now is this, and if you go on my Reset for Success website page and you go on the Facebook page, there's a load of free stuff that's shared all the time. I'm always sharing bits on there. And we're doing challenges and various other things to help you get really super healthy. There are, you don't need to go completely crazy, but you can make some adjustments in your life right now to give yourself a better chance to boost your immune system. You really, really can. And cancer thrives on 3 things. 3 imbalances in your system. The first imbalance, it's 2 in 1 actually. The first imbalance is diet and lifestyle, right? Diet and lifestyle. Ask yourself, what kind of diet and lifestyle that you have, right? What are you putting in your body? Because what you put in your mouth and in your body has obviously a massive effect on your health. We are eating food we can't even pronounce. We are eating processed food. We're eating food out of season. We're eating food that's been highly covered in pesticides and traveled right across the other side of the world. Ask yourself before you put something in your mouth, is this good for me and is this natural? They're the only two questions to ask yourself. Is this good for me? Is this natural? And I would urge you, please, to eat as much natural food as possible and as much unprocessed food as possible, and ask your body and ask yourself if it's good for you. And also slow down enough when you've eaten certain foods to just feel the effect of it on your body. You'll know what foods make you feel energized and good, and what foods that you take in bring you down. Now, I'm not saying that you have to live on, lettuce and cucumbers and all of that stuff forever and never have anything, naughty again or never. All I'm saying is I want you to apply a sort of 90-10 or 80-20 rule, that you stick to trying to be as 80% natural, whole foods as possible. And then you can afford to have 10 or 20% of an indulgence. I tend to stick to a 90% super healthy and a 10% eat whatever I like. One thing I did do, though, in the height of my cancer journey, is I took out all animal products. And the reason I took animal products out was because a lot of animal products are now, unfortunately, reared with hormones, steroids, antibiotics, and all sorts of other supplements that are put in our food. Without going into that, and I go into it in a lot of detail in my chapter on diet, that has a massive effect on our health. So we just have to be mindful. So if you can't afford organic, and it can be expensive, I was organic, stopped dairy and gluten-free, Tanya. Yeah, exactly that. I don't have dairy now. So I go through gluten-free too, and I have a dairy-free diet. And I'm pretty much vegan, although I'll have fish occasionally. So I'll have some fish now, some oily fish, which is good. But I absolutely, in the height of my cancer treatment, of the journey that I had, I eliminated all animal products completely. But now I am dairy-free and fish occasionally, but I do not eat meat. And I don't have dairy at all. And I would urge you to study some stuff about these things. Have a look at how dairy is produced. If we honestly think it's natural to drink the milk of another animal that's been artificially lactated for a year on hormones and steroids, we've really got to start questioning it. And we've got to question why girls have periods at the age of 9 now and things like this, right? So look into this stuff. Please ask yourself and look into the ingredients of the food you're putting in your body. We only have one body. It's really important that we look at the ingredients. And even health foods, they're the worst sometimes. If you look at health foods, have a look at the ingredients, and they really love to sneak in sugar and all sorts of other stuff in there that isn't really healthy, right? They have protein bars that are actually mainly carbohydrates, but they're called protein bars because if you have more than 9 grams of protein, it's called a protein bar. So don't be fooled, guys, right? That's all I'm saying. Be smarter. Be clever with what you're putting inside your body, and don't fool yourself that what you're putting inside is not going to come out in some way, right? So diet and lifestyle is one factor. The second factor, which is a massive one, which was my key factor that really was my Achilles heel that caused me, is stress. Stress. Ask yourself what you are tolerating and putting up with in your life. What toxic food we just talked about is one thing, but toxic people, places, and things is another thing altogether. Be mindful. I had a 20-year marriage to a narcissist, very toxic relationship. And actually, when I did eventually, pluck up the courage to leave and walk away from my marriage, it was tough with 2 children. I had no idea the damage that I had been bringing into myself for those 20 years, right? And the things I'd been telling myself. And when I left, even though I did eventually get away, I felt like a failure. And I spent years telling myself I wasn't good enough. And even though I was a super achiever and I became a millionaire at 43 and I had all these businesses and I was doing very well and I know how that all works, inside I was telling myself I'm not good enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not thin enough. I'm not fit enough. I'm not this enough. I'm not enough. And I spent years telling myself this because I was in a very toxic marriage with a serial cheater of a husband who just I allowed myself to feel not good enough. Now, ask yourself how a placebo works. Yeah. If a doctor gives you a sugar pill and tells you, here's a special pill and it's going to cure your sore throat in 3 weeks, 50% of the group, when they do clinical trials, are given a placebo and 50% are giving the real drug. And a very high proportion, normally 40% of the group that's given the placebo actually get better. It's part of clinical trials. So it's just recognized as well by the medical profession. Now, think how powerful the mind is on your cells. Yeah. So if what you tell yourself every day has a massive impact on your cells. So please guard your thoughts. Please guard your thoughts. And I wasn't, and I had prolonged negative feelings about myself and negative self-talk and a lot of judgment and a lot of dialogue going on against myself going on inside. And I was putting everybody else and putting all their needs before my own. And it was literally destroying my cells. I cannot stress that enough. And actually, if you look at some work by a guy called Emoto, he's a Japanese photographer, he took water in different vessels and they photographed the molecules of the water before and after. And I have I think it's on my website or my Facebook page, the photographs of these molecules. And when they photographed molecules of the water, where they spoke to the water and said, oh, you're ugly, you're horrible, you're rubbish, you're no good, right? The molecules were distorted and grotesque and disgusting, the water molecules. And when they took the water and they said, you're beautiful, I love you, you're amazing, you can achieve anything, you're great, okay? I have lots of stuff from Dr. Decker, yeah. If you tell the water that, when they took the photographs, these cells, the photographs of these cells came out as perfect symmetrical snowflakes, right? This is science. This is quantum physics as in its true sense. So as the body is made up of at least 70 to 90% water, please do not underestimate the effect that your thoughts have on your cells. What you tell yourself every day absolutely affects you at a cellular level. Okay? So please guard that. And I've done a lot of work. I used to do a lot of work with other people and I was very good at helping other people through all of this stuff, but I was neglecting myself. And now I've realized I have to put myself first. And I will say this, if a plane takes off, they always tell you what to put your own mask on in case of an emergency. Why? Because you cannot help anyone else if you cannot breathe yourself, right? So please put your own mask on first. Make sure you have good, strong oxygen and you're really well before you can. Yes, condemning is an enemy against myself. Exactly. So please, if that's one thing out of all of this, I would urge you to do today, have a technique for flipping your internal narrative. Now, they use it in AA. You can put an elastic band on your wrist. And if you start having a negative thought, you can flick it really hard and it hurts like hell. But you associate pain with a negative thought and it stops you from thinking negatively. Yes. Or you can, if you start going into this spiral of negative thinking, quickly find something positive to focus on and start changing your thoughts. All right. Do not go into that dark room and do not shut the door behind you because you won't find the door or the window to get out. So I'm urging you to stay within the light. Be very mindful about what you say to yourself. And the third condition is environment. So we've got diet and lifestyle is one, stress is another one, and your mindset. And the third one is environment. Are you in the right environment to be healthy and well? Are you in the right relationship? Not just with your partner, but with your family, with your friends, with the people you work with. Are you in the right work? Are you living in the right place? Are you in the right spaces? Are you putting yourself in the right environment in which to thrive? If you have a plant and you give it sun, water, and the right soil, it thrives, yes? if you take one of those conditions away from that plant, it will grow differently. For sure. So we need all those three conditions to be working together in order to thrive. Yes. So all I'm saying to you is really be very mindful about these and ask yourself very honest questions and keep asking yourself these. What is my diet and lifestyle? Is it 80-20? Is it 90-10? Am I really giving myself and my body the best possible chance to be healthy and well? 1. Am I guarding my mindset and what I say to myself? What are my stress levels? Yes, all the problems in the world started with that I'm condemning myself. Exactly. Yeah. We are too hard on ourselves. First and foremost, we must learn to love ourselves above all else. And the third thing is, ask yourself if you are in the right environment in order to thrive in life. And if you're not, I know things can't change instantly. Sometimes they can. Sometimes you can just get up and go, this is what we're doing. Or you can put a plan together to say, I am going to change. I'm going to make some significant changes. And I call it radical acceptance of what is. Where are you? Radically accept where you are right now and make radical changes. Yes, I'm 57 in January. I'm 57 in January.
I've seen another question here. I will bring it back.
Is there another question? If anyone's got any questions, more than happy to ask. How old are you? Tanya, when I went to a holistic doctor who suggested keto castor oil packs, forgiveness. I am finding it all tedious. I also do coffee enemas. Yes. Okay. Thank you, Tanya. Yeah, I'm 57 in January. I do a lot of fitness. I'm physically fit and well. And, you know, I do as much as I can to help other people to keep healthy and well. I'm passionate about it. There are lots and lots of things that you can do. One thing I'm not a fan of is doing things that are too extreme. Tanya says, I absolutely hate where I live. Well, now that's interesting, Tanya, that you say, I absolutely hate where I live. Let's look at this language. I'm fascinated by language. I absolutely hate where I live. Well, that seems very, very strong to me. Now, you know then, you absolutely know, there is no doubt in your mind that where you are is not right for you. So
she's moving in November.
You have to move. It is for your life, you have to move, for your health and your wellness. It's essential that you move. And you do it for yourself, not for anybody else, but for you. And some people might think, oh, I can't move, I can't do this, I can't do that. Yes, you can, actually, guys. You are capable of so much more if you just trusted and believe in yourself. The power that we have inside ourselves is unbelievable. I took literally tumors like this and stage three to nothing in 5 months because I decided that that's what I was going to do. I was going to beat it, not only beat it, but come out even healthier and use this opportunity to help others. And I believe that's the gift of this journey. I believe it is the gift of this journey. Yay, Portugal. Do you know what? There's a place where I am going to live too at some point. I'm very drawn to Portugal. There's something quite magical about the space in Portugal. So I think it's a great move. I'm very intuitive. I intuitively feel it's a great place for you. So get there as soon as you possibly can and make it work for you. And if you're drawn to it, you must go. Please learn. We all must learn to trust ourselves and trust our journey and trust the choices that we make. And, you know, another thing is we're also frightened. I can't seem to get out of a loop of no money and debt. It's bringing me down so much. Right. Now, money and debt, that's a very interesting one, isn't it? Now, money and debt. Now, we live in a society where we think, if I do this, then I'll have that and then I'll be happy. Yeah? So if I do this and I have that, then I'll be happy. So we live in this thing that we've got to do all these things and then we have to have all these things and then that will make us happy. And I call it a when-then culture. So when I'm thin, then I'll be happy. When I have loads of money, then I'll be happy. When I run the lottery, then I'll be happy. When I have a big house, then I'll be happy, right? Guys, it's the other way around. It's the other way. We've got it the wrong way around. And I'm a Buddhist. I've been a Buddhist for a long, long time and I chant. And my Buddhist practice my practitioner told me this, and I didn't get it, and I know exactly how that feels, that gripping feeling around money and not having enough, and this scarcity and never having enough money, and I can't afford this, I can't do that, right? Put it out of your mind completely. If you're constantly thinking about money and debt, you'll be bringing that into you. You're going to be operating at such a low vibration in your life that you'll be bringing in exactly what you're thinking about all day long, right? And this isn't EBGB spiritual. This is scientific. This is quantum physics. We operate vibrationally. If you looked at us through a magnifying glass, we're not solid. We're cells vibrating. We're not solid. Nothing is solid. This cushion's not solid, right? We're all vibrating molecules. You have to operate at a high vibrancy, a high frequency. And you have to operate as if you already have these things. So if you want to look at things like the law of attraction or quantum physics, for example, when I was at the height of my illness, the mantra I said to myself all the time was, I am strong, vibrant, healthy, and well. 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 And I said it over and over again, 1,000 times a day, 1,000 times a day. I am strong, vibrant, healthy, and well. I am strong, vibrant, healthy, and well. I am strong, vibrant, healthy, and well. And my cells believed it, and they operated that way, and they kicked the cancer out, right? Now, if you want to have money, you have to say to yourself, I have abundance. Money flows to me every single day. I have more than enough. I never have to worry about money. The universe provides money for me all day long. Money comes to me easily. You have to say this to yourself over and over again. I can buy anything I like. I can choose what I buy. You know, it's not about money making you happy. It's about you being happy with the abundance that you already have in your life. Yeah? Perhaps you can assist me to make a statement which will take me forward. I'm 71 and do not think my life is over. With one would like to travel around the med. Right now, interesting. My nan got to 106. She had 2 telegrams from the Queen.
Wow.
Yep, lived on her own, cooked for herself every day. My other grandmother was 96. Now, they're fit as a flea right up to the end. So there is no 71 is nothing. You're a spring chicken, honey. I said, hey, I'm 57 in January. My life's about to start, let me tell you. So this is how to put a mantra together. Do you want to put a really cool mantra together? A great way to do this is this. Get a piece of paper, sit quietly away from everybody else, or go somewhere that inspires you or not, or just sit on the sofa. You don't spend any money doing this. Don't just sit in a magical cave. You can do it wherever you like, kitchen table, whatever you like, right? Get a piece of paper. Write on that piece of paper all the words that you would like to feel all the time. All the words that would make you feel amazing. If you could feel these things all the time, you would be the richest person in the world, right? All these things. They could be things like rich, successful, happy, vibrant, fit, powerful. You write whatever the words. These are just examples, right? Write them all down and don't overthink it. Just dump them all out of your brain, all over the place. Then I want you to take 3 deep breaths, just then calm it all down. Just take 3 deep breaths, and you can do that with your eyes closed. And then I want you to look at the paper again, and I want you to pick 3 words that really resonate with you, like the 3 most important feelings for you. 4 at the most, but 3 or 4 maximum. And I want you to circle those words, the 4 that you would really love to feel all the time. And then you are going to make your mantra. And that is, I am X, X, and X. That's your mantra. Or it could be 4 words. I am X, 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 and X. Okay? In my case, it was I am strong, vibrant, healthy, and well. That's what I needed at that time. Okay? It could be I am beautiful, strong, successful, and wealthy. Yeah, I am beautiful, strong, successful, and wealthy. You say that to yourself over and over again. You tell me you don't feel beautiful, strong, successful, and wealthy. You'll walk into a room with that running over your head. You walk into a room with the feeling like I am beautiful, strong, sexy, and wealthy. You walk into a room saying that into your head. You'll be amazed the energy that you're giving into that room and who you attract and what things attract to you. If you walk around going, I am beautiful, I am healthy, I'm successful, I am sexy, Whatever it is that you want to feel, you say that to yourself over again in your head. And I want you to say it thousands of times a day, not just in the morning when you wake up, all day. Walk in that room, even if you don't feel it, I don't care. I want you to say it. Your mind doesn't know whether you're joking, whether you're making it up, your mind is listening to everything you tell it. Your body is listening to everything you say to yourself. So do you want to wake up thinking, oh, I look shit today? Oh, look at me. Look, my thighs are a bit dimply. God, my ass looks big in this, right? You want to say to yourself, I'm attractive, successful, rich, and joyful. I am, not even now, I don't want the now. I am attractive, successful, rich, and joyful. The magic words are I am, I am, I am, like you are now, like you are now. I know people, let me tell you, who are multimillionaires are miserable as hell. So please don't kid yourself that millions of pounds are going to make you rich. In fact, I was reading something the other day that something in the region of nearly 80% of people, lottery winners, file for bankruptcy within the first 5 years of winning the lottery because they don't believe in that environment. They don't alter their mind state to be a millionaire. Yeah, I know how it feels to be a millionaire. I became a millionaire at 43. I had no money the day before. And in 24 hours, I had £1 million in my bank. And that's another story I could tell you another day with my business. That's another story for another day. But it isn't money that makes you happy. It isn't money that makes you feel good. It's what you tell yourself and how you act and how you feel. Dress cool, dress rich. Doesn't have to cost you millions, but feel good in your clothes. You could wear a second-hand top that you bought from a charity shop that cost you 40 pence. But you own it when you walk in that room and no one's going to know that didn't cost you 1,000. It's how you feel. It's that energy you're putting out into the universe. And it's that energy you're telling yourselves and yourself. You've got to own these thoughts. You've got to own these words. And you have to ask yourself, do I want to talk crap to myself? Do I want to feel bad? Or do I want to empower myself? Because if I talk to my friends the way I talk to myself, I wouldn't have any friends. And that's how I was. And the only reason I'm saying these so passionate, as you can tell, look at me, I'm like animated, is because I told myself, guys, for years, I wasn't good enough. Even when I became a millionaire, right? I'd walk into a room and go, oh, everyone's better than me. I shouldn't be here. That person looks better. Or maybe I shouldn't have worn this dress. Her hair's smart. Maybe I should get my hair cut like that. And maybe if I was attractive enough, my husband wouldn't have cheated on me. If I was sexy enough, my husband wouldn't have had, looked at other women. Blah, 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 blah. I realized it was nothing to do with me. It was his behavior, not mine. That was his behavior. Nothing to do with me. He'd have done it anyway. We are so, we take everybody else's bad behavior and we make it our own, and it isn't ours. So you decide every second of the day how you are going to be. And also, please remember, every second of the day is a new life, You can change now. Every second of the day gives you an opportunity to say to yourself this one phrase: from now on. From now on, I'm going to be this. From now on, I'm going to be happy. From now on, I'm going to be vibrant. From now on, I'm going to own my life. From now on, I'm going to feel wealthy. Because we're all wealthier than someone else. Believe me, there's always someone who's worse off than you. So we're all incredibly healthy. And do you know what? We're wealthy because we're alive. We're wealthy because we woke up this morning. Millions of people didn't. So we're already wealthy before we put our feet out of the bed. So start feeling it. And that's all I say to you. So from this moment on, or from now on, and you can say that any second of the day, if you ate a whole cheesecake this morning, don't beat yourself up going, I can't believe it. I started my diet. I was supposed to start my diet and be super healthy, and I've just eaten a cheesecake. It's like Tuesday. I'll just have to start again on Monday. No, I've just eaten a cheesecake. Typical. That's, you can say laugh at yourself and go, that's an old habit, isn't it? From now on, I'm going to be healthy. From now on. Okay? So try and get these mantras in your head and, review those maybe on a regular basis. I don't necessarily now say to myself, I am strong, vibrant, healthy and well, although I do like it as a mantra. I like to keep that going. I like to feel vibrant. I like to feel strong. But yes, the money one is an issue. I've been there, seriously. Oh, horrible. But we bring it on ourselves by constantly telling ourselves we haven't got enough. And you've got to change that. You've got to act as if you are a multimillionaire all the time and you watch things happen to you. Okay?
Is it Tanya? What is it?
I wish the lump would disappear as if by magic. Well, yeah, what does that mean? Is that a question? Sorry? Which lump?
I think Tanya was diagnosed with the cancer and she might have a lump. So yes. She's just kind of wishing.
Yeah. Okay, so rather than wish, direct your cells to cure yourself. So rather than wishing it, you're going to say, I am curing my imbalance, my illness. I am healthy and well. In fact, when I was going through my cancer journey, for instance, I didn't even speak about it. All I focused on was health and wellness. I wouldn't even talk about it with people because, I had people going up to me saying, oh, how are you? Are you okay? Oh, my uncle got cancer and everything. I said, do you know what? We're not talking about it. If you'd like to talk about my health and my wellness, I'm happy to have a conversation about that with you. But I am not talking about illness. I'm talking about wellness. So all I did when I was ill was think about health. I focused on health. I focused on being well. I focused on, and if, I'd meditate on my healthy cells, like Pac-Man, eating the unhealthy ones.
It's a good one.
Yeah. I just imagine it. I would imagine constantly. And I would imagine when I breathed in, breathing in healing light that would just heal everything in. And then when I breathed out, breathing out all the unhealthy imbalances and all the stuff out of my body. Yeah. So please focus on what you want as if you already have it. Do not focus on what you don't want. Do people understand that? That's really critical. I didn't even mention the C word when I was ill, and I very rarely talk about it now because what your attention goes to, energy flows, right? Where your attention goes, energy flows. So really important that you put your attention on what it is that you want as if you already have it and not on what you don't want. So don't focus on the illness, focus on focus on your system. Yeah. This was me. I refused to talk. This is the first time I asked. Oh, that's good. Well, that's a good sign. Yeah, don't talk about it. Talk about your health. Talk about your wellness. Talk about how great you feel. Talk about how healthy you are. And for anyone who's, worried about money, for instance, talk about how wealthy you are. Talk about how great you feel about money. Talk about how, good you're feeling around money and that it's manifesting and bringing new things in for you all the time. There is abundance in the universe. It is a good universe. And you know what, guys? And this isn't meant to be negative in any way. None of us know when we go out the door at any time that isn't our last day today. So just because someone tells you something's gone wrong or you've got a chronic disease or something, who knows what our day is going to bring? Nobody knows that you're not going to go out today and get hit by a bus or have a bad car accident. So nobody knows. Well, none of us, do we? So let's make a decision to make every day an amazing day, because we actually don't know, any of us, how many days we've got, do we?
We don't know.
We don't know. We absolutely don't know. So let's just enjoy the journey and cut ourselves some slack and just have fun and live life and just enjoy everything that we have and the abundance of what we already have around us. And that's really important, really, really important.
I have a question. So if you think back to your journey with healing, would you do anything differently?
With my journey through healing, not before.
Like when you realized you were diagnosed with cancer, if you went back to it now, would you do anything differently?
No. Actually, Sarah, there's one thing I may have done differently. I may not have had surgery. Because I absolutely knew before the surgery that it had gone. I knew it had gone. I told my surgeon, we don't need to do the surgery. It's all gone. But I had 46 lymph nodes removed from all down
Wow.
there. It's a lot. It's wide. And actually, when they removed them all, they said to me I had 16 that had scar tissue from the stage 3 cancer before, but there was not a trace. He said, I can't get over it. There's just not a trace left. It's all gone. But I knew it had all gone. And I could have avoided the surgery. But, you know, when you're in that situation and you've gone through the chemo, you feel you have to do everything to make sure you've done everything you possibly can to come out the other side. So I trusted the doctors with that. In hindsight, maybe I should have trusted myself a little bit more, and I could have avoided the surgery, I believe. But that's a difficult call, isn't it, to make?
Many people don't take chemo. Do you think that's a good idea, or what do you think about the chemo?
It's a very contentious issue. Lots of people say you shouldn't have chemo because chemo creates cancer, and lots of people can't even cope with the chemo because it, you know, let's face it, the chemo kills good cells as well as bad cells. So it's unfortunately the chemo is not localized to the area. It kills everything. That's why all your hair goes, everything is killed. But that is why it's so important to focus on your immune system so you can get through it. But, you know, they've come a long way with chemo now. It's much more sophisticated than it used to be, and they're much more targeted around the types of drugs they use and the different types of chemo. When you're diagnosed with it, it's a horrible place to be in the middle with the people in the medical profession saying, oh, you shouldn't do alternative therapy and you shouldn't, you know, worry about vitamins and Chinese herbs and all that because they're rubbish. They don't do anything. But then on the other hand, you've got the Chinese herb people and the natural people saying, oh, you mustn't do chemo. Well, it's all very well for them to both fight each other, but you're stuck in the middle. And that's not fair to be stuck in the middle of two people fighting each other. So what I did was take the best of both. I really did. And if you are ever going through something as strong as chemo, it's really important to focus on your immune system and get yourself as healthy as you possibly can in between. And I did things like ozone therapy, intravenous vitamin C played a huge part. Vitamins are massive. We must take vitamins. Most of the food we eat, unfortunately, has been depleted of all its vitamins and minerals because the soil quality is just not good enough in the world anymore. You must take supplements. I urge people to take supplements to get the vitamins they need. They're not getting it out of the food. And you could eat 10 vegetables a day or 5 or 10 vegetables a day. You're still not getting the right amount of vitamins and supplements because it's over-processed and we just don't have the soil quality. So, yeah, I think it's very difficult for me to say to people don't have chemo or have chemo. Yeah. Everyone has their own journey, but what I do urge people to do is study and look and see what, you know, look into all of this stuff and see what is right for them. But know that it is not a death sentence. It's just an imbalance like everything else in the body, and you can reverse it. You can. I absolutely know it. Too many people have done it. So, you know, I urge people to seriously realize how strong they are. We're much, much stronger than we realize. Yeah. Another comment here. My nodes were healthy and they wanted to take the lump out and put me on hormones for the rest of my life. Then I asked questions and they said, was asking too many questions, not really ready for an operation. Thank God. Yes. You know, do you know what? That's a really good comment, actually. Thank you for that. One of the things I found too is that they kind of get irritated by you if you ask too many questions. Don't you dare ever let people intimidate you to not ask questions, right? Whose life is this? Whose body is it? Whose mind is it? Yours. You're entitled to ask as many bloody questions as you like. You're entitled to question anybody. You're entitled to have a second opinion, and you're entitled to research, and you're entitled to ask yourself intuitively what is best for you, what is best for your journey. I take a supplement via a Quantum Wellness app, and it is always picking up anti-cancer stuff. Funny that, yeah. I think it's really, really important to take supplements. Certainly everybody, without a doubt, should be taking probiotics because you need to have a really healthy gut. You should be taking a multivitamin, a good multivitamin. You must take high doses of vitamin C, liposomal vitamin C if you can. It's got a high absorption rate. Vitamin D for your cells. And turmeric with black pepper because it's a good anti-inflammatory. They're the key ones, really. I'd urge people, probiotic, vitamin C, vitamin D, good multivitamin and mineral, and turmeric with black pepper. Turmeric with black pepper is a very good for anti-inflammation in the body. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. And drink good water. You've got to drink good water. Water is everything, but do not drink water out of a tap. It's full of hormones and bad things. So you really need to have good quality water. And I think Juditha knows all about that and was wonderful in supplying me gorgeous water when you were in Northampton. So thank you.
Yeah, Kangen water. What water do you drink now?
I have hydrogen water. So I have a hand hydrogen filter because I can't get my water from you, which I loved, which was amazing. And I'm not ready to commit to sort of thousands of pounds yet, but I would love to do that and have a proper water filter system in my home. Once I know exactly where I'm going to stay longer term, then I will commit to that. So what I did was I bought a hydrogen water bottle and I just put it in there, turn it on, and it converts it to hydrogen water, and it's really good for the cells. But there is some great, really good water, and not all water is equal, as you well know, Juditha, and you promote this all the time, and it's important to get really good hydration and good water into your body. We need it. We definitely need it. But if you don't have that, then buy a good water, just buy a water filter if you have to, but just get something where you're in the water, and then put fresh lemon in it because it alkalines your body. Fresh lemon water all day long, alkaline your body, keep your body in an alkaline state. Lots of leafy green vegetables, citrus fruits, things like that.
Tanya.
Judith, please just tell that lady how just from the 10 minutes I listened, I feel light again. From now on, I listen to great women. I changed my life. I'm going to Bali. I love Bali. I've spent a lot of time in Bali and meeting my soul partner. This stuff makes me feel so light, not fear and debt and worry. Thank you. Let's hope we speak soon. Oh,
that must be Rachel.
You know what we should do? We should have like a regular kind of thing where we have a Q&A session and we keep people boosted because we all need support. It's very easy to slide like this, right? And we just need to all help each other. We need to support each other. This is a critical time in the world where we need to share our experiences. I've gone through anything you could throw at somebody, right? I've been sexually abused as a child. I have alcoholic parents. I've had an abusive marriage. I had 4 miscarriages. I had a funeral of a baby. I had my eldest child, unfortunately, sexually groomed at the school, blah, 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 a terrible divorce. And then I went through cancer. So if you want to list the things that someone should go through in life, I'm the girl. But I have overcome every single one of those things. And I feel fantastic. And I embrace every single day, and I know all the techniques and I've studied everything. I've done Anthony Robbins Firewalk. I've read everything. I've qualified as many things as you can. I'm a Santander business coach, mentor. I'm a well-being coach for Macmillan. I'm a qualified nutritionist, blah, 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 blah. And I studied these things because I had to. I had to thrive and not only survive, but thrive. And we've got to help each other. We've all got to help each other and give each other as many tips and tools as we possibly can to really thrive, guys. Really thrive. So important.
Some more questions.
Put your own mask on, please, before you help anyone else. That's not arrogant. That's not being selfish. You can't help anyone else if you're not wonderful and vibrant yourself, right? It's really important.
Tanya.
So I'm more than happy to listen to anybody and support anyone at any time. Just come on board. Happy to talk to Juditha again on her lovely show.
Say again about the vitamin C.
Yeah, it's liposomal vitamin C. LIPOMOSAL. Liposomal. LIPOSOMAL. It's 94% more absorption than normal vitamin C. And you need high doses. And in the height of any illness, you should be taking 1 an hour, 1,000 milligrams an hour. And you think, wow, that's a lot. You'll only overdose on vitamin C. You'll know it if you get the runs a little bit. If you get a bit of diarrhea, you'll know that you've taken a bit too much. So you just ease back. Now I take 1,000 milligrams in the morning and 1,000 milligrams in the evening. But in the height,
healthy people take vitamin C as well.
Yeah.
Healthy people.
Without a doubt, you should be taking it now in the COVID crisis because it is the #1 boost to your immune system. There are 2 things you must take now in the COVID crisis: vitamin C, 1,000 milligrams in the morning, 1,000 milligrams at night, and vitamin D, 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Vitamin D and vitamin C, essential vitamins to take right now to help your immune system through this current crisis. That you should take a probiotic, a multivitamin and mineral, and turmeric and black pepper, fabulous for anti-inflammatory in the body. And I take 1 in the morning, 1 at night. Yeah.
But how do we know that these vitamins are really absorbing? Like, do you have a recommended brand or something? Expensive one?
It's a good. The one I tend to use at the moment for vitamin C is Dr. Mercola, only because he does a lot of work and a lot of studies, and I rate his vitamins. He does an affiliate program. I'm not part of it, so I don't gain anything from telling you that. But Dr. Mercola, Mercola, I rate their vitamins. They're quite good. They can be a little bit expensive. I think, you know what, pretty much any vitamins you can just get in your body has got to be better than just trying to get it out of the food, because there's just not enough vitamins in the food now. We're over farming. So I don't, you know, I'm one of these people who I like to do things faff free, no faff. Don't make things hard for yourself because you won't keep it up. I would much rather you just do something than nothing, you know, and don't make it difficult for yourself. As soon as you start making things too difficult, you give it up. It's not worth it. Yeah. So make things easy. Make things easy. That's why I don't believe in diets. Diets don't work because you can't keep it up. No one can live like that. Just eat natural, unprocessed food. Don't drink apple juice, eat an apple. That kind of thing, right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Eat the whole thing. Eat natural food as nature gives it to you. Eat the fish out of the sea, you know. Eat natural fruits, natural foods. We don't need all this other processed stuff that we keep getting fed. And unfortunately, it's everywhere, isn't it? You know, you go into everywhere and you can't buy natural food. I go into service stations and the only thing I can buy now, if I want a snack, thank goodness they've started to do it, but not everyone does, are seeds and nuts. That at least they're as natural as possible. But everything else is crisp chocolate rubbish, just utter rubbish that we're putting in our bodies. My nan, I told you, got to 106. She told me this thing. She said, if you can't pronounce, she came from London, so she had a funny accent. She said, if you can't pronounce it, don't eat it. Organic food is better, but, you know, who can afford organic food all the time? Not everyone can, and I appreciate that. I buy as much organic food as I possibly can. I have organic vegetables for sure. And I have an organic vegetable box that's delivered every Thursday to me, and I love it because I don't know what I'm getting every week, and it's from local organic farmers, and I feel great because I'm sustaining them and they're local, and I'm giving money to the local organic farmers, and I get a surprise vegetable box every Thursday, and I don't know what I'm getting, and I love it. It's almost like a gift. I can't wait. It's like a present, and it forces you to eat different kinds of vegetables, which is great, right? And you know what? We spend more money on the clothes that we put on the outside of our body than the food we put inside.
Exactly. At least here in Sicily is different because we have fruits and veggies everywhere. Really nice, yummy fruits and veggies.
Lovely.
Great soil. At least the soil seems healthy and everything is growing here like healthy.
Yeah. You have more natural resource there. You know, I spent a lot of time in Thailand and they had a lot of natural foods there, you know, lovely fresh coconuts to drink, lots of tropical fruits and great fish straight from the sea because you're living right by the ocean. So, you know, great. It's great. And that's why the Mediterraneans still have the healthiest diet in the world, right? They have the least cancer. They're one of the blue zones to live in because they have a lot of natural resources. And they eat well and they eat properly. They stop at lunchtime and have proper food and they take their time. In England, we're stuffing a sandwich in our face while we're on the computer. How is that healthy? We're eating a terrible pie that's in a packet that we've got from a service station while we're driving along, and that's our lunch.
Yeah.
Mediterranean would sit and eat really good food and fruits, weren't they, for hours at lunchtime? Eat properly.
I don't want to hold you for long. Is there anything you want to say to people who are kind of in that situation?
Well, all I want to say to everyone is, listen, your health is in your hands. Yeah, it is. Trust yourself. Love yourself. Do not underestimate the power of your self-love for yourselves, right? Love and nurture yourself above anyone else. Please, please, please. I didn't for a long, long time, and it nearly killed me. And that's not a joke. That's not dramatic. And I've learned now very much so that to love myself wholeheartedly and to be happy to be imperfectly imperfect, perfectly imperfect. It's okay. It's okay. So, but thank you very much. It's been lovely talking to you. Very lovely to talk to you.
If anyone has questions, where can they reach out? On Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook. I have a Reset for Success Facebook. They can connect with me personally. I've got a personal Facebook page. They can go on the website. They can always email me, t@resetforsuccess.com. So, love to hear from people. Very happy to sort of support anyone if they want to reach out at any time. And we can come again. We can connect again on other things, can't we? If people want to talk about business or how to get an idea out of your head or any other types of things, really. Happy to talk.
I have questions about business that I will reach out to you because you just reminded me that you might be the person to ask.
Okay, cool. Happy to do that. Right, more than
I dropped again your link.
Okay,
so people can find the link to your course, to your website for information there.
And the email t@resetforsuccess.com. So they can always email me there or go. If you go on the website, there's all the social media platforms on there anyway that you can link to. So thank you. You're very welcome, everyone. Thank you for listening. Have a great, great week. Make it your week, right?
Thank you so much.
From now on. Bye, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.